I apologize. This is my second time recording it. The first time my microphone had the wrong settings on it because of some personal projects I'm working on. So this isn't my genuine reaction. You've been warned. But you know what's even more exciting than all of that? Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Invoke Despair, and Reckoner Bankbuster are all banned. Let's go! We'll read their reasonings for it in a bit, but we're going to just kind of skim our way through this article here. They're talking about their basically like philosophy going forwards, considering that Standard is moving to a 3-year format instead of a 2-year format, which I think is important and a good idea for them. Broadly, they want it to remain a fun and healthy play environment. They want to place more scrutiny on cards and play patterns that have been in play longer to ensure that it's fresh, which makes sense. And as a result, they're banning these 3 cards, which all of this makes just tons and tons and tons of sense, right? They do mention, first of all, that their next yearly banned and restricted announcement, which is going to be a thing going forward, is happening August 7th. So this version of Standard that we're going to be going through for the next 2 months might get changed up then, which is a really good thing in my opinion, because it basically means that Standard's going to be changed up by the bans for about 2 months here, and we can kind of get a handle on how things are going to work, and then we'll probably get another updated announcement, and then the new expansion afterwards. They have said that there will be this 3-week window that they use after set launches in order to do basically like last second, oh crap, this card interacts in a way we didn't think of, a la Felidar Guardian, just breaking the game wide open. But they don't want to use it very often, which makes sense. I can respect that. But let's look at why they banned these cards. Let's start by talking about Fable of the Mirror Breaker / Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. The card has been the backbone of strategies based in Black-Red, and one of the strongest cards in the format for the entirety of its tenure in Standard. Its ability to generate resources, card flow, and be a must-kill threat is unmatched at its level of efficiency. Counterplay available to its low and frequently costs much... I can't read, I'm sorry. Counterplay available to it is low and frequently costs much more than 3 mana, and is especially difficult to beat on the draw. By removing Fable of the Mirror Breaker / Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, we hope to reduce the power of Black-Red decks, but also make deck building choices for these strategies more meaningful as to whether they want a threat, card selection, or the ability to ensure reanimation. For these reasons, as well as the high play rate of the card across many decks, it is banned. Yay! I'm astounded that they didn't mention the shenanigans that is Reflection of Kiki-Jiki existing and being able to go quasi-infinite and just win you the game. Number of games I've won by just using Kiki-Jiki to copy like 7 other Kiki-Jikis because I just had like 7 open mana at the end of a turn and nothing else to play is weirdly high. I'm kind of surprised they didn't mention that, but I feel like that's such a fringe case scenario, and the meta kind of evolved to revolve around removing the Kiki-Jiki, so... Not surprised they don't mention it too much. Reckoner Bankbuster, love this. It has been the go-to card advantage engine for many decks since its release. As a colorless card, it has been effortless to slot into a wide variety of colors and strategies. Its general ubiquity and strength have pushed out other card advantage options too much as a colorless card. It has also put stress on creature sizing, as creatures that can crew the Bankbuster have been more favored than others. Which is true. That's one of the reasons why the Rakdos Vampire, the Bloodtithe Harvester, has been so popular. On top of being a good cloning target for Kiki-Jiki and being a good 2-drop, it crews Bankbuster effortlessly. Which is just crazy. I feel like that card's going to drop in value a lot in terms of deck building, but we'll see. It could still see value because of the blood token. Being able to cycle cards is always really nice in a deck like that. But anyways, we're still talking about this. To promote more diversity and give power back to other types of cards in different colors, Bankbuster is banned. Which is good. This does hurt control a little bit, but I feel like this next ban is basically a response to hurting control. Invoke Despair has been the premier curve topper in most black-red decks and black-based strategies for most of its lifetime. Not only is it powerful for managing the battlefield and generating card advantage, but it's also been excellent for showing up some of black's weaknesses. Traditionally playing a wide variety of permanent types is strong against decks with a lot of 1-for-1 removal. Invoke Despair makes it especially difficult to find ample counterplay to black strategies, as it is an effective card to cast on an empty board and preys upon the enchantments and planeswalkers that are historically effective against these types of removal-heavy strategies. Due to its power level and negative impact on card diversity, Invoke Despair is banned. Yes, control can live again. What do I mean by this? A lot of control strategies involves using like enchantments and planeswalkers to make their onboard threats to slow down the aggro and mid-range decks swinging at them. Invoke Despair was like, oh, you have a wedding announcement and a Wandering Emperor out? Too bad, they're both gone. It's so effective into Control. And it's just so nice that Control will no longer have to worry about this. They will have to 1-for-1 instead of 3-for-1ing you. And on top of that, Control is probably going to go up, and I feel like a lot of these bans are going to make Control a lot more playable. Not having to always answer Fable with at least a 1-for-1 with a counter, if not a 2-for-1 with removal and then removal, as well as not having to constantly worry about, oh, they're at 5+ mana, I have to always worry about Invoke Despair and Chandra. I think Control is going to possibly be able to actually make a slight comeback as a result of that. Now, I will clarify, when this video comes out, it is the 29th, which is the ban of Tabletop and Magic Online for the cards. Arena technically doesn't ban the cards until tomorrow. Now, don't take my word for this, but I believe if you have copies of the cards crafted, you get wild cards refunded. So if you already have full playsets, don't worry about this. If you don't have full playsets, I'd personally craft a full playset of Kiki Jiki. If for nothing else, then it is super playable in like Explorer/Pioneer if you ever play that format. And if they do the wildcard refunding things, you can go craft a full set of it. I believe that's what they did last time stuff was banned, because I recall getting a bunch of Mythic Rares when they banned Alrund's Epiphany out of Standard. But don't take my word for it. You know, do your own research. Don't spend wildcards and be like, Felt, you told me to craft it! I told you you might want to craft it. But yeah, this is all very exciting. I cannot wait. I think this is going to make Standard a lot more interesting, especially in the best of 3 meta. It's going to really spice stuff up. I think Control decks are going to make a bit of a resurgence. Maybe not massively, but a bit of a resurgence because of just not having to constantly worry about the Fable of the Mirror Breaker and the Bank Buster and the Invoke Despair when deck building. Overall, I think these changes are great. I hope Standard going forwards feels a lot more fresh as a result of that. Regardless, if you liked this video and like the discussion we're having here, go ahead and comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff if you want to see more stuff like this, and I hope to catch you in the next one.